All right, ready? All right. Hello, basketball fans, and welcome to tonight's Valley Conference matchup between the visiting Alden Conger Knights and the Janesville Waldorf Pemberton Bulldogs. The Alden Conger Knights coming in tonight 1-7 on the season. The Bulldogs 1-8. Jace Emery alongside David Holm once again. And David, you saw the boys right before the Christmas holiday, and now you're here for the girls' game.
Yeah, I'm excited. Pleasure to be here.
Well, it's two one-win teams coming in, right? I think 4 and 5 in the Valley Conference. We looked at the standings before we went on the air. It's very similar teams, both with a lot of youth. We'll see what the difference is tonight. The starters tonight for the Alden Conger Knights, Sydney Chickus, the 4'11" senior. Eric Butte, she started in 7th grade, the 5'5" junior. We'll be watching for her. Megan Lynn, the 5'7" junior. Abby Toish, the 5'8" freshman. And number 13, McKenna Erickson, the 5'9" sophomore. For the Bulldogs, a similar lineup that they've been using the last month or so. Brielle Cords, 5'11" senior. Emma Johnson, 5'5" freshman. Mandy Gruss, 5'4" sophomore. Emily Olson, 5'3" freshman. And Tyler Kroll getting the start tonight, 5'5" senior. 3 minutes, 30 seconds away from starting lineups. And, you know, I don't know what the key to the game is. It's both teams similar in size. Yep. The tallest player for the Knights is only 5'9". Obviously, we do have a 6-footer, Alexia King, coming off the bench. We'll see if that minor height advantage aids the Bulldogs in this one.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about momentum, Alden Conger's they came off their first win.
That's right. They over the Christmas holiday, they was at Lake Crystal. They had a 2-point victory over Lake Crystal, and I don't know if the Bulldogs played Lake Crystal. I'm trying to recall
I don't believe so.
If they have or not, but
I feel like we would have caught that.
Let me check that for you. I'm on MinnesotaScores.net, a great website. Coach Holm pointed it out to me before we went on the air here, and JWP and Lake Crystal, I'm trying to see if I remember that. They did play, and the Bulldogs lost 60-52, so similar scores.
Yep.
So hopefully this one's a close one, and hopefully those Bulldogs can take the victory tonight.
Yeah, right now JWP is sitting at the 6th seed, while Alden Conger's right behind at 7.
That's right. That's the section. We're all looking ahead to section.
Yep.
And if it ended tonight, we would play Mountain Lake area in the first round of the section tournament. We've played them before. Seems like JWP always gets matched up, boys and girls, with Mountain Lake area. I'm not sure what it is, but all right. Once again, 1 minute 35 seconds to go until starting lineups. Coach Jenny Hubendick, giving the last-minute talk with her girls. I think Hubendick, I believe, is her first year coaching for the Knights.
All right.
So, all right. So then, just have it on the flag, and then.
Yep.
It's recording, right? Yep. You see that on, you can tell what's the speed. Jackie Hubendick, Bryn Harms, and Katie Holman. And now for your very own Janesville, Waldorf, Pemberton Bulldogs. Starting at forward, the 5'11" senior, number 4, Brielle Cords. Starting at guard, the 5'5" freshman, number 14, Emma Johnson. Starting at guard, the 5'4" sophomore, number 24, Mandy Bruce. And starting at guard, the 5'3" freshman, number 30, Emily Olsen. Starting at forward, the 5'5" senior, number 32, Tyler Pearl. Bulldogs are coached by Lincoln Wilson, Jared Timke, and Sam Bruce. Tonight's officials, Justin Kaus, Greg Hiegler. I got spicy chicken affected by my voice there. All right. All right, let's see here. Let's get it up. There we go. Well, fresh 18 on the clock. I think that might be the first time I've ever announced the starting lineups with Welcome to the Jungle playing in the background. We'll take it. We'll
First
take
time
it.
for everything.
I guess so. All right. And ball is up. We're underway here. Knights control the tip-off. That's Lynn. Oh, Johnson and Kroll collided, took a tumble. Butte, she traveled before the shot. And number 2, Butte, she's the one to watch. She has been on this Knights lineup for a long, long time. It's kind of hard to believe she'll have, 6 years of varsity play when it's all said and done. She was a 7th grader when she was first on the varsity team. Stolen by the Knights. And there's Butte.
She's quick.
Off the mark there. Rebound Cords heading the other way are the Bulldogs. Oh, everyone falling here. It's going to stay with the Bulldogs. Over to Johnson in the corner. To Gruce. Kroll, tight defense there by the Knights. Fakes. Boy, passing it all around the horn here. Jumper is off by Gruce. She normally makes those. Down low to Kroll, up and in. It's off. Oh, that one. Cords got the rebound, and it looked like it was going to be in, but not the case.
It's almost too easy.
Yeah. And check it. Oh. Sat on her there a little bit. That's
Good
okay.
hustle.
Yeah. Olsen slows the tempo down a bit here. Still looking for the first bucket, a minute and a half in. That's a 3. That's off the mark. Rebound Knights. And there's Butte. She'll shoot that. Nothing but net for Butte, and it's the Knights who strike first. And a shoelace timeout, referee stoppage. Cord's going to set a screen here. There's Olsen. Oh, couldn't finish though. Once again, David. Maybe too easy.
Yeah.
3 is up for Olsen. It's off. Johnson fouls it with a nice offensive rebound. A scrum.
Wow.
Comes away with it somehow. Oh,
They're
boy.
working on the boards.
Yeah. Full speed ahead are the Knights. And there's going to be a walk before the shot, much to the dismay of Coach Huvendick. Mm-hmm. And King has entered the contest for Kroll. King, the 6-foot junior. King will be the tallest girl on the floor, which she is most nights. Maybe forced it there to Cords.
Yeah.
I don't know if she truly was open. Having a more difficult time seeing the scoreboard tonight. Normally they have this side hoop a little higher, but we'll have to make do.
Two, three zone
There it is.
for the Bulldogs here.
Oh, yep,
bounds.
on the line. You can
Yep.
see that right in front of us. And Wheelock will enter the contest in favor of Bruce Wheelock, the freshman. Olsen right in front of her father there. Tried to force it to King. Wheelock is a scrapper on defense. No doubt about it, but the errant pass there. Yeah, 2-3, no doubt being utilized by the Bulldogs. Jump ball, and possession arrow favors the Bulldogs. 14:44 to go, first half, 3-0 our score. Some of you probably just joining us. This game originally was going to start at 7:15, but the JV game was on running time, so they said let's get it started now. So it was a 7:05 tip-off.
Yeah, with the cold.
Yeah, mine as well.
Mine as
And
well.
Wheelock breaks the ice, as we just talked about the cold, breaks the ice for the Bulldogs. 3-2 our score. I talked with Coach Lincoln Olsen before we went on the air, and he said they had 3 practices over the Christmas holiday close to this game, and a little rust, but hopefully they can get it out in the first half. Chickus, the shot, misses everything. Good hustle there by Butte. Over to Chickus. Off the front iron is the shot. Butte, another hustle offensive board.
It's one of the weaknesses of a zone is you don't really have the same girl you're boxing out every time.
Nope. It's hard to get in a rhythm. And that's going to be going to the Bulldogs of JWP. Subs coming in for the Knights. At number 3, Autumn Seuss coming in, and Kylie Corman. Both one's a freshman, one's a junior. So I thought they were both juniors. They're not.
If I'm correct, number 1 was playing one half of JV.
That's right. That was the one you were talking about. Kylie Corman did get a half on JV. In JV action, the JWP Bulldogs beat the Alden County Knights 49-9. A very good effort by the JV girls. I'm so used to saying JV, they don't call it that anymore. It's B squad.
Yep.
B squad. I'll probably be saying JV though until they put me 6 feet under. It's just something I'm used to saying.
Well, they call it B squad. You'd think varsity would be A squad. Right?
There you go. Yeah, maybe so.
So you get confused sometimes,
Yeah.
but nice drive.
There it is. Very nice. And that's Wheelock again, and she's got 4 points for the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs take a 1-point lead early on in this first half, 4-3. Corman finds Toish back out to Corman. Passing it around our other Knights. That's Butte with it now. Around the perimeter it goes. 3-pointer is up for Toish. It misses everything. And jump ball is the call.
Stay here.
Timeout called
30
by
seconds.
Coach Huvendick. And while we have a quick timeout, want to, of course, update you on a lot of you heard about the fire in Janesville over the Christmas holiday. And the Doghouse Bar and Grill, I drove past it on my way to work today. It was the first time I saw it, and that's the end of the Doghouse. But right next door, Wisties Meat Market had some smoke damage and water damage, but I was told they will be opening up possibly later this winter. So,
right.
So there you go. We were talking about that last time we were on the air. I said, you got to check it out. Well, now you can't. You can't now. So I'm sure a lot of people got gift cards for Christmas from Wisties. They'll have to wait to cash those in.
That's all right.
That's all right. It'll be worth it. They have very good food. So once they're open again, once again, Whistey's Meat Market. Don't forget about that. Right on the main drag in Janesville. Out of the timeout here. And foul, and that's going to be on King. Free throw is off. They haven't marked. They say 14. Let's see. That would be Johnson. Her first, team second. Zimke has entered the contest for the Bulldogs. Zimke, number 20. She only got 1/2 on JV, and you kind of wondered if she would be making an appearance in both halves of this one. It appears that is the case. Did that free throw miss, that second one? I thought it went in, but it did not show up on the scoreboard. So I'm not sure. There might be a gripe there if you're the Knights, but 6-3 is the listed score. I have it as 6-4, but I must be seeing things here. Traveling is the call. Well, you'd think the Knights section would be up in arms if. So maybe I need to go to the eye doctor. I'm not sure, but. Or you know what? If you look at how the net is, maybe it just grazed the front of the net. Maybe I thought it was a nothing but net, and it wasn't. Nice pass there by Zimke. Off the mark. They've got to get the board on that. King follows up, and you like to see King get that offensive rebound and put it straight up.
And that's an advantage JWP has with its size.
Yeah, and normally that isn't the advantage, but tonight it is. That's going to be a travel. Walls coming in favor of King. Boy, this is a pretty young lineup on the court right now. 8th grader, 9th grader, 9th grader, 9th grader, and a senior. That is young basketball.
I think.
Yeah.
Are they finally saying something?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be. I think they have finally corrected the score. So I guess we can cancel that visit to the eye doctor. I was right. So we have updated the score on your screen. It is 8-4. Stolen away by the Knights. That's going to be a foul. I don't know if it was Wheelock who got it from the back or Cords who got it from the front. And it's going to be called on, well, okay, they had it wrong. It's called on Wheelock. Originally they called it on Maddie Loken, number 40, and that couldn't have happened. So
it wasn't even in the game?
It wasn't even in the game.
I don't think Coach Olson would have argued too much.
No. We'll probably see Loken maybe in the second half. She played 2 halves on JV tonight. Both free throws did go in, and they were marked correctly right away. Stolen away by the Knights. Bulldogs can't get sloppy. To Gruce. She likes that shot. Boy, off the mark. I've seen her hit those dozens of times, though, over the years. She loves that side set shot. This still the 2-3?
Mm-hmm. Now they're very, very wide.
Yeah.
Very spread out. So that means middle's open. Fear the Knights. Yeah, the top girls do a good job of.
Nice pass.
Of really moving.
3-pointer is up and in for Toish. I believe Toish had a sister or a relative on this team in previous years. I remember saying that name a lot. Toish only a 9th grader, but maybe I was calling her from last year as an 8th grader. We're going to stay with the Bulldogs. Olsen's for 3, and it's in. And that's they're going to say only 2. Oh, no, they're going to say 3. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong one. It's nice to see Olsen make that. It's always open for her, so if she can start hitting that on a regular basis. It's off. Oh, the underhook layup off the mark. Kroll the rebound. Gruss heading the other way, full speed. Coach Olsen calling for movement here. Good pass.
Nice. Oh.
No, and possibly blocked there by Butte. Knight basketball. Just a little bit over 9 minutes left in this first half. Thank you for joining us. NFHS. Whoa, yep. Staggering around. Eventually that third foot dropped. Emma Johnson. Oh, yep. I think that's going to go to the Knights. Yep. Possibly a lead pass there, and the girl just didn't move up on it.
Go to the ball.
Down low. Back out to Toish. Lost the handle on it.
Right idea. Look, good
nice
cross
pass
court.
to Johnson. And they're going to call a foul on Chickus there. She didn't like the call. I suppose if you're a defender, you rarely do.
Not shooting. Wow.
Oh, wow, okay. I already had it ready to go for a shooting foul.
Oh, my.
It's off. Boy, Butte again, another hustle board. Chickus down the court. 3 is off. Saved, but to nobody. Both Chickus and Erickson went for the save, and then when they saved it, they had no one to give it to. Walls heading out for the Bulldogs. King back in. A touch over 8 minutes to go left in this first half.
Good look. Oh.
King, got to get the backboard on that.
Yep.
Have to.
Power dribble over.
Yep. King knows it too. And I don't know if you saw that, David, but they called power, and yeah, you get Hooven flexing both the muscles. So we'll see what this is.
Overload. I'm assuming they're looking for some type of post up.
Yeah, you'd think, but maybe that's a deception. I don't know.
Mind games.
I guess so. Butte with the ball. Over to Chickus. Nice pass. And boy,
How did we come up with that?
I didn't even see where the ball was for a while there. Down court to Johnson.
Back out. Nice.
That's going to be a 3. Ooh, it's off. Maybe let's zoom it in here if you can. There we go. Right about there. There you go. Johnson inbounding for the Bulldogs. Over to Gruss. Johnson calling for it.
What I'm noticing is on every baseline out of bounds, the inbounder is way more dangerous. It seems like they're looking for a shot for the inbounder more than anyone who's out on the actual court.
So that's maybe that's the one you're not expecting it to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Timeout called by Coach Lincoln Olson. I'd like to talk about some of the upcoming home contests for the Bulldogs. Let's see, there isn't one for 9 days. The Waterville Elysian Morristown, the Buccaneers coming in on the 11th. That's a 7:15 tip time. Glenville Emmons coming in on January 22nd. That is to the best of my knowledge, that is the first time they have been here in quite some time. Obviously a non-conference game on both of those. And before the contest, we were looking at the Glenville Emmons logo, and it was nothing to be desired in our opinion. But
Rough.
But I don't know. Faribault Bethlehem Academy coming in, and Triton coming in, and that Faribault BA squad, they're doing okay this year. Sometimes Faribault BA, they're up, they're down, but this year they're pretty good again. So they're always tough. Coming out of the timeout, 7:02 to go in this first half. 11-9 our score, a low-scoring first half. Stolen away. And then stolen away again.
Oh, you mentioned low scoring. JWP only averages 38.
That's right.
And the Titans only average 42.
So it's over to Chickus. Boy, hard pass there by Corman. Stolen away eventually by Johnson. Down court to Olson. Puts up the shot. It's off. Foul. And we're heading the other way.
Nowhere near the bonus.
No, it's the one foul for the Knights, 4 for the Bulldogs. Gruce coming in favor of Johnson. Chickus. A lot of heat there by the Bulldogs on defense. Wheelock comes away with it. Gruce. I thought third time was going to be the charm. Fourth time, and it was a 3. So maybe that was the one to hit. If you're going to hit one of the 4, that was the one. 14-9 Bulldogs with the lead. And good effort there by Gruce.
Getting Coach Olson into it.
Yeah, that's good to see. You can tell it means a lot to him, and that's what you want to play for a coach where it means a lot to him, means a lot to you. That's why you're there. Good pass there by Butte. There we go. And he's fired up. You're right. Olson across center court over to Gruce. She'll shoot again.
Oh.
Yeah. Floater is off. Walls covered in arms there. Yeah.
She tried ripping the ball and she just lost it.
And
it's off the knee.
Yeah, off the knee. You're right. .502 first half, 14-9 our score. JWP Bulldogs in front. Butte providing the defense on Olson. Nothing.
Save? Nope.
That's Toish coming away with it. Nice pass. Good finish there by Soust. Over to Gruce. Nice move. Boy, that was a beautiful move. Beautiful move.
Very good balance when she steps back.
Chickus for 3. It's long.
Didn't box out.
Yeah, Lynn earned that one. They didn't put a body on her, and that's 2 points off the board if you box her out.
Yeah, usually those threes are opposite.
Yep. Chickus the long two.
Yep.
Misses everything.
That's a hard box out there.
That was, because Butte was going for it. Olsen for three. It's in, and that might be her third one of the half. 19-13 our score. Chickus was looking for Butte, not there. Over to Toish. There's Butte. Blue 24, and that will be on Gruss. What was the call there, David?
I think she just hand checked it.
Yeah, okay. King returning.
Hand on the hip.
Okay.
Can't do that.
No.
Ooh.
Jump ball. Let's see if they go with the same thing, David, here on the inbound.
Line formation. Good hands.
That's, yep, obvious foul there by Butte. Boy, the inbound plays are a little different than in junior high, huh?
It's all trickery.
Yeah. It's off. Big rebound by Cords.
Nice.
That's how you put it up.
Yep. Gathered herself and shot from a comfortable angle.
Chickus the ball. That's Lynn in the corner. Fakes Walls out. She'll shoot that. I know she will.
She's looking for, that's a foul. Oh.
Not called. Chickus. Toish for three. And boy, almost got the shooter's touch there. Big rebound by King. And that's how you do it. Zimke to King. Misses everything, does Zimke. Good pass. Yeah, couldn't get away with it a second time, could King, and that'll be a foul. The Bulldogs' sixth foul of the half. That was the first on King. Free throw is off. 1:55 to go in this first half. And it's going to go to the Bulldogs of JWB. Timeout called by Coach Huvendick with 1:53 to go in this half. And while we have a break in the action, we'd like to talk about some of our local sponsors. Crystal Valley for all your agronomy, grain, feed, petroleum, and propane needs. Your local co-op since 1927. www.crystalvalley.coop. Patton, Hovertson, and Berg, a professional association attorneys at law, full service law office. They're located on Main Street in Janesville, 507-835-5240. Witz Electric, residential, commercial, farm, new construction, and remodeling. Please contact Roger Witz of Pemberton, 507-234-6694. They've been fine since 1949. Modern Fresh Paper Goods. Of course, we got to be talking about Ginger P Designs. Look for them at www.gingerpdesigns.com or feel free to stop into the shop. It's that big building. You can't miss it, that new one with the big pink door. All right, coming out of the timeout. That might be the first time in broadcast history the big pink door has been mentioned on a broadcast, but that's all right. You can't miss it, especially if you're heading out to that second exit. Back to basketball, though. Olsen over to Zimke. Back to Olsen. Olsen sets, shoots, and it's in. Having a good shooting night tonight is Olsen. Lynn out to Butte. Oh, yep. It was there. They got excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be on
Bonus.
That's on number 30. That's Olsen.
Yep.
And we are in the 1-on-1. It is bonus time.
Yeah, on that, she tried to steal it with her right hand. Should be trying to steal with her left. Get her body away from the offensive player.
Wheelock to Zimke. Zimke for 3. It's off. Butte the board. And here she goes off to the races. Nice down court pass to Lynn. Lynn lays it up with the left and in. 23-15 our score. Olsen again for oh my goodness, a 4th 3-pointer I think of the half.
I think you're right.
Nice passing by the Knights. It's gonna go to the Bulldogs.
Look for one shot here, or you try to get a
I'd go for one.
quick one.
Go into the lead, or go into the half with a double-digit lead.
Yep. I think that's what they're doing. Maybe not.
But if the door's open for you, but it traveled before with 17 seconds left. And the Knights will be positioning themselves for the buzzer beater now.
It's got to go to Butte, don't you think?
You'd think so.
Skip.
Down low, maybe. I thought Erickson had a look there.
Yep,
2,
Butte.
1, just like you. And it's off. Boy, well, you said it was going to happen, and it did. And we go into halftime. Our score, the Alden Conger Knights 15. The Bulldogs of Janesville, Waldorf, Pemberton 26. And, well, David, it was, I'm not quite sure what. I think the 3-point shooting from Olsen might be the advantage right now.
Yeah, it wasn't, neither team had a 10-0 run or, 12-2 run or anything like that. It was, 2 points here, there, a 3 here and there. Nothing. It didn't really seem. JWP got rolling a little bit, but offensively it's been very stagnant.
It has. And, the D1 thing to comment on is Butte maybe 2 or 4 points, maybe 5, nothing more than that, though. So they have kept her in check a little bit. None of the other Knights getting hot. So 15 points, if you can hold a team to 15 points and a half, I think the Bulldogs right now, if they could choose, they say, yeah, we'll give up 15 points again in the second half, too. That sounds okay. That's a good trade-off.
Yeah, and like I said before, Bulldogs only averaging 38.
On pace to have that improved. So that works. Once again, upcoming games on the 11th, Waterville, Elysian, Morristown coming in. Buccaneers always, when you're playing up to a 2A school, as the Bulldogs will be doing, it's always a tight rivalry, though. Always a fun atmosphere, so please come out for that one. And then on the 22nd, Glenville Emmons coming to town for the first time in a while. We got Faribault BA on the 30th, and those are the games for the month. At the junior high level, the 7th and 8th grade girls will be in action Friday night. Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial coming in.
You bet.
4:30 for the 7th grade, 5:30 for the 8th grade. My parents will be coming to that one, I've been told. So we'll see. Yeah, well, you know what? It's gonna be a tight one. Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial and JWP. If you followed the junior high basketball scene at all the last couple years, especially at the 7th grade level, it's been JWP Lake Crystal in the Valley Conference Championship 2 years in a row now. And the last 2 years, the Bulldogs did win it. And 2 years ago, the 8th grade also played Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial in the championship game. And I was there for that one. I was on the sidelines. And, boy, that was an exciting game. And we ended up winning that championship. And I had Mandy Groos was on that team, as was Amanda Sack, who is, of course, out for the season with a separated shoulder. She probably would be starting tonight if she did not have that injury, but she has been supporting the team. She's always on the bench with them. And last year, it's hard to believe, but McKenna Zimke was on that 7th grade team last year that led the Bulldogs to the Valley Conference title as 7th graders. And if you look down at B Squad, there are 5 8th graders right on the roster. So, but Friday will be a good test, both the 7th and 8th grade, to see how they match up in the Valley Conference. Mm-hmm. And one thing worth noting is that year the 8th grade and 7th grade won the Valley Conference Championship. The tournament was held on a Saturday. 2 days before the tournament, on Thursday night, we had to go to Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial. Their 7th grade beat our 7th grade by 30 points.
Oh, wow.
And they beat our 8th grade by 8 or 9. 2 days later, the 7th grade team beat their team by 11.
What a turnaround.
So a 41-point swing in just a matter of 2 days.
Yeah.
And the 8th grade also won as well. So it was a great feeling, and we're hoping to have that feeling again this year. But that's not the goal, but it would be nice if it happened. 6 minutes to go until second half action. And I'd like to say a big hello to my folks who are watching from Lakeville tonight. We'll be seeing them on Friday. They're going to see a tight game, though. You know it. You know Lake Crystal's going to come ready to play. And I asked a couple of the girls, I said, what can we expect? And they said, well, they're about the same size as New Richland. So probably post-heavy and ready to go. All right, and we're back. About 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go before second half action. David, what do you think the Bulldogs need to do to hold on to this one and get their second victory of the season?
Limit turnovers.
Yeah.
Keep working hard on defense and rebounding. I mean, if you just play a solid second half, they should walk out of here with a victory.
And, you know, the Knights have to take the lead from the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs shouldn't have to, if you just play your game similar to how you played in the first half.
Yeah, now if I'm the Knights, I'm looking to push the ball.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Butte running. Just every time you get a rebound, outlet out, and try to get some easy buckets, especially at the start. I mean, the first 2 minutes of the second half is going to be really important to see what kind of tone is set.
You're absolutely right. I would expect Butte to have more than 5 points in the second half. Obviously, I think if the Knights if they're going to come away tonight the victor, I think it's going to be Butte who has to really step up and be that leader.
Needs to have a double-digit half here.
And that very well could happen. The Knights only have one senior on the roster, and that is Chickus.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and she can get running too.
She is. She's
fully capable.
Fully capable. All right. Fresh 18 on the clock.
Yeah. Far from being over.
Oh, very far. This one could change in a hiccup. So when are you heading back to class at MSU?
Next Monday.
Next Monday, all right.
Yep.
Second semester classes, correct? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Second semester of my sophomore year.
There you go. Got any good classes you're looking forward to this semester?
Foundations of Marketing.
Oh, there you go. That does sound good.
Level 400 class. So.
Oh boy, as a sophomore, boy, that'll
be fun.
Yeah, that sounds a high level, and right away Johnson right down there. You know, David, that kind of looked like that drill you had him do earlier, where they came in and then did that baseline layup.
Yep.
And it's going to stay with the Knights. Kroll, Cords, Johnson, Gruss, and Olsen to start the half for the Bulldogs. They were the starting five to start this one. Chickus, the long board, over to Lynn. Oh, yep. Telegraphed pass. Oh, Johnson was there. Olsen will take it in. Probably should have got a little more backboard on that, huh?
Yep.
Isn't that kind of the thing where
there for a reason?
It's there for a reason. Oh, punt.
Kicked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Johnson inbounds in front of the JWP student section. The boys off tonight as well. Many of the JWP boys basketball team here tonight. Stolen away by Butin. Look at the Knights. Oh, nice move. And, you know, I know she was being unselfish.
Yeah.
Do you take that up yourself if you're Butte, maybe?
I think you do.
Open look.
That's too easy.
Yeah, you can't have that happen. I know you could hear him probably at home saying, watch the middle, but Erickson said, I'll take that look. That's a good look. Oh, boy, a lot of body there, and it's going to count. It's going to count. And Johnson will head to the line in hopes of connecting the old-fashioned three-point play here. Free throw is up. It's in. 29-17 our score. Chickus fakes again. She'll take it now. Big rebound by Cords. And it's off. Rebound heading the other way. Oh, got to stop ball.
Yep.
Got to stop ball on that. Use the angle.
Yeah, you can't chase.
No. If you're running side by side, that's an open layup.
Yep. Nice jumper. Oof.
Gruss for three. It's off. Rebound. Toish over to Butte. Kicks it out to Chickus. To Toish. Erickson finds Butte in the corner. Nice pass. Chickus. She puts it in. You know,
she was looking for contact.
Yeah,
just didn't get it.
You know, at 4'11", I think she saw a king there, and it's in again for Johnson. You know, on paper that's a 13-inch differential between the two players.
Good back cut. Oh.
Butte in the corner. Nice pass. That's in. That's great basketball there by Toish. Great pass. And I'm not sure what was it. A shoelace again?
Shoelace, yeah. Same girl, right?
Same girl, yeah. Cord's got to get those shoes. Maybe the Velcro strap is needed over the laces. Something.
2015 Hyper Dunks.
Maybe.
I had those my senior year.
That sounds like a $500 shoe.
Oh, yeah. It's $140 with retail price, yep.
So if you're a clearance shopper like I am, that sounds like a $500 bill, though. I prefer the Shopko clearance rack. That's there it is, and it's in for Cords. And I have it as, there it is, yep. I was going to say 33-23 our score. It's still a double-digit lead here for the Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm. A lot more scoring, though.
It is. Yeah, there's McKenna Zimke heading the other way. And it's in. Yep. Soft off the glass, and one thing, she was going on straight. You got to choose the side then. She chose the right side, and it was nothing but the bottom of the cup there for Zimke. Toish to Erickson.
Gave herself a good angle.
Exactly right.
Skip.
Tight defense there by Wheelock. Stolen away.
Good defense. Look across, yep.
And there's Zimke again. And the foul. I know she's played both halves tonight, but Zimke always in that first 5 minutes of the second half, at least in the games I've seen, really provides a catalyst off that bench. You know, sometimes the fresh legs coming off the bench are exactly what you need. And when you're an eighth grader fighting for minutes, and you know you got Dad on the sidelines as the JV coach. Toish trapped in the corner here. Reverse layup. Hits the bottom of the hoop. Does that have a name, that bottom beam? I don't know.
I haven't really heard anything.
Oh, gotta convert that. Travel. Yeah, you know, those layups aren't going to get any easier. There's no defense on you, and you gotta finish. 15-point lead for the Bulldogs. That might be their largest lead of the season. In fact, I know it is. Nice move. Whoa! Wheelock almost lost it over to Zimke.
Good cut.
Nice pass. Ooh, hitting that. What did they call the side of the hoop?
No
Down
idea.
the court.
Foul? Oh.
Not called, but that's going to be night basketball. Boy, if I was Lynn, I would have wanted a call there myself. Loken and Olsen coming in favor of Walls and Johnson. And Kroll possibly going to be making an entrance as well in favor of Cords. Loken making her first appearance on the night. She did play 2 halves in the JV game. And, boy, there it is again. We just talked about it. Oh, yep.
Didn't know what you wanted to do.
Yeah, and, you know, that's going to happen with that youthful exuberance that Zimke has. You get excited off the steal, and sometimes you want to make the finish extra special.
Yeah. Thought about it too much.
Yep. Butte down low. She's in the danger zone, and they're going to call a foul, and she gave the ref a look like, what took you so long? Toish will inbound for the Alden Conger Knights. 38-23 our score. That's a nice play.
Yep.
If that connected, there's the board though.
Yep. Butte was in the corner. All she did was show her hands, and two girls for JWP sprinted to her.
Yeah. Well, you know the scouting report.
Yep.
I'm sure they used boldface text on her name. Oh, that's... Oh!
That's the freshman that...
Yeah, that's Corman. That's right. That was the rocket launcher 3.
Corman.
And that shot brought to you by Janesville State Bank, helping build a better Janesville. Boy. The other end of the court now, it's Wheelock. Now, I honestly think that hit the corner. Boy, a lot of dust being knocked off that backboard. And that's going to plop in now. And we're down to a 10-point game. Timeout called by Coach Huvendick of the Alden Conger Knights. And this one far from over with 11 minutes and 4 seconds to go.
Interesting timeout.
Yeah, maybe she wants to
Maybe set up a press or
set up something. Maybe she, you get the momentum.
yeah.
And now,
Kind of killed it. I don't know.
it's hard to say. Well, we'll see. We'll have to see what the next 3 to 4 minutes looks like for the Knights.
Mm-hmm.
But while we're waiting for that, we want to talk about Hardware Hank, the Janesville Hardware Shop. It's located on North Main Street. Feel free to call them at 507-234-5278. There's a lot more going for you at Hank, Hardware Hank. And we come out of the timeout here, 11:04 to go. Second half action, it's 40-30 in favor of the JWP Bulldogs. And David, the Bulldogs went into half with, I think, was it 11-point lead?
Yes.
26-15.
26-15. The Titans have already doubled their score.
Yeah, the scoring has really
Picked up. Yeah.
is really picked up here.
Oh, see, a little bit of a
Yeah, a little
here.
bit. Yep. So they talked about something.
1-3-1.
1-3-1.
Corners are open.
Oh.
The corners are open in the 1-3-1.
And subs coming in for the Knights. We have Erickson and Chickus returning for the Alden Conger Knights. I knocked my headset off there.
A bigger lineup for the Bulldogs here.
Yep.
And they get the rebound.
Courts had a couple tough breaks off the glass, and that's going to be a foul by Toish. Well, let's see if it's going to go back to Olsen here. No. Well, eventually.
Trap. Running out of time.
I think timeout.
Yep. Yeah, Coach Olsen gets sent.
Time, danger was coming. What's the? I don't know if I ever watched the show, but that robot in that Lost in Space, danger, danger, danger. Oh. It's before my time, so I know it's before your time. So, of course, want to wish everyone a happy New Year. Visiting us on the NFHS tonight, 2018. I can remember 1999 becoming 2000. Not that long ago, it seems,
Really?
but then again, you were born in 1998,
Yep.
and you're a sophomore in college.
Yeah.
So, so that just shows you how quickly things move. I think this year's high school senior class still has some students born in the 90s, though.
Really?
I want to say so. So,
They should.
but it's coming to an end. It's hard to believe that next school year, most high schools in the United States won't have any students born in the 1990s. All this millennium, but
I was born in 98, and I'm supposedly a 90s kid, but
it's hard to say.
I was never on the 90s kid cartoon.
No, you weren't. No.
I wasn't old enough to watch those.
Did you ever have Dunkaroos?
No.
Okay, well then you weren't a 90s kid.
Yep.
Because every 90s kid had Dunkaroos.
Yep.
Olsen the ball here. Olsen definitely not a 90s kid. With the ball, looking around here, finds Cords. Nice move there by Gruss again. Good pass to Walls, and she finishes. Gruss has been utilizing that, I don't know what you'd call it, just that shuttle move, and it's been working out well tonight for her. Passing on. Chick has thought about it. Over to Butte. Oh, there was,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, Toish was wide open.
Yeah, she was
Got the rebound.
opposite block. She was just all her. She ended up getting the rebound, though.
Yeah. Foul was on number 12, and that, of course, is Walls, her first team third of the half. Boy, this game kind of moving at a fast pace. We just started an hour ago, and we're only got 9:43 to go.
It feels like Titans are going to run out of time, maybe.
It's
their run now.
They got them. It's the way this is going. You have to.
There it is.
Just as you said. And that's Butte. You can't let her get the confidence. And it's in. And just like that, she pulls the Knights within 8. And it's going to stay with the Bulldogs. Coach Olson calling out something here.
Knights back in that 1-3-1.
Yes, they are. Oh, yep. You could see, you could see it. It's
great job by the freshman getting that steal.
Yeah, you can, and that was Corman. That Corman. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't lob passes over the top.
Well, when we have the opportunity to react, to go, oh no, you know that's too slow of a pass.
Yep.
And Zimke will return for the Bulldogs in favor of Olson.
Yeah, if we're able to call something out on the court, it's too late.
Yes.
Whether that be a foul
or anything,
or she's open, or if we're able to call it out, it's too late.
Boy, that might even be giving Butte too much room. If she gets confident here.
Bank?
Yeah, not open.
Trap.
Over to Cords, right in front of the Bulldog bench. Back out to Wheelock. Johnson for 3. It's off. Rebound, Zimke. Kind of a no-look behind-the-back pass.
Foul. That's on Zimke.
Yeah, that will be.
Yep. Oh, yeah, never mind.
Yep. Her second, team 5th.
I was thinking she was number 10 from JV, but
yeah, that's right. She was 10. Yep. Sometimes that gets confusing. 10 will be Wheelock on the varsity. You think they'd have enough uniforms where they didn't have to do that, but.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep. One step too many there for Erickson. Johnson to Zimke.
The clock's at 8 minutes?
Yeah. And it's put in for Cords.
I think that hoop being down so close to the scoreboard.
It is. It's hard to see.
I thought there was 4 minutes left.
Okay.
That's why I said,
you gotta bring it up, yeah.
Foul.
Well, and your vision's a little more obstructed than mine even, probably. So, yeah, you can't see it at home here, but
it was at 9 minutes, and it had the top of the 9 was cut off, so I thought it was 4.
Let's give them a little look at what we're talking about here. You can see the hoop is right in front of our scoreboard. So we're trying our best. In fact, there's a scoreboard on the opposite end. I've probably looked at that more tonight than I ever have before. Butte for 3. That's going to be off.
Good hustle.
Inside drive, kicks it out. Down low. That's not going to go in. No, too mechanical there for Soust. Oh, you could hear the screams from the student section. They thought someone was going to end up in their lap there.
I was going to say that was a pretty high-pitched scream for a student section full of young men.
I think so. I think the one lady in the front row is the one, Lacey Cords, who
nice.
Lacey was on the basketball team up until this season, decided she was going to end her basketball days, and she was good to see her, though, enjoying the games from the sidelines still.
A little karma with the ball hitting her? Or?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, don't leave the team. It's off. And there's going to be a foul there. 12-point lead for the Bulldogs, 46-34 our score. I've noticed the Bulldogs using that a lot, where a post comes down to set a screen right at center court. Boy, not a lot to do here. Yeah. Timeout called by Coach Lincoln Olson.
Yeah, that 5-second call was.
It was coming.
It was right there.
Yep. While we're away from the action, I'd like to talk about some of our local sponsors. Guardian Energy LLC, Janesville, Minnesota, 507-234-5000. McPherson Crop Management, Agronomy, Technology, and Data Management Services since 1993. They're located on East 1st Street, Janesville, Minnesota, 507-234-2224. DuPont Pioneer, please contact Lane Janicki or Scott Routh, 507-838-5554. CFS, the power of progress, an egg-focused cooperative that turns progress into powerful solutions for their customers. Agronomy, energy, grain, feed, and financing. Look for them on Twitter as well as on Facebook. Once again, that's CFS, the power of progress. Vincent Plumbing and Heating, Main Street, Janesville, Minnesota, 507-234-6436. And it's not in season right now, but don't forget about that Dairy Queen in Janesville. It is a delight. That'll be something, if you're ever in Janesville in the spring or summer, David, you'll have to check out that Dairy Queen. It's locally owned, and it's just great.
When that first opened, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, right now, with negative 20-degree weather like we've been having, I don't know if ice cream would be the what we want right now, but
maybe some ice cream and a hot chocolate.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe that would be it.
Nice.
Oh, and yep.
Butte's got really good vision.
Yes, she does.
I mean, almost eyes in the back of her head.
Well, when you're on your 5th year on varsity, I suppose that she's got one more to go. She's only a junior.
Bonus.
I'm sure if she has not already, she's got to be in the 1,000 point.
Yeah, she's has to be inching.
Yeah, got to be close. And it's in. I see the sports writer for the Waseca County News here, so look for that in an upcoming, the online version tonight, of course, but I don't know what day of the week the Waseca County News comes, but check out for that. All right. Passing it around are the Knights, down low, and Johnson secures it. Floater pass to Zimke. Cords hands it off to Olson. Yeah, maybe a little too telegraphed there, David.
Yeah. It's a tough pass.
Good hustle at the other end, though. Yep. Yep.
Ran out of room.
Oh,
Trap.
got to be something, yeah. Favors the Bulldogs. 11, just like halftime, it's an 11-point deficit right now. Subs coming in for the Knights. Chickus, as well as Erickson coming in favor of Soust and Corman.
Good pass.
Nice passing by the Knights, and it connects.
Yep.
And maybe they got time for one last run in them here if they can make it work with 4:23 to go. Wheelock coming in for Zimke. Both teams in the bonus now. Free throw off. Oh, yep. Foul was on Toish, and that will be the 9th team foul of the half for the Knights. One more, and it'll be double bonus for the Bulldogs with 4:04 to go. Whoopsie daisy. 4:04. The time on your screen is off, folks. It should be 4:04. Oh boy, no, it's really off. Well, we'll fix it next time out.
Those touchscreens, huh?
Yeah, it's a touchscreen computer. So while I put the foul marker up, we'll just let the time tick, and it'll get down to about 3:57 in no time. I think that's going to be a shooting foul, and Butte at the line for a pair. First free throw is up. Clangs off the back iron. No subs coming in. 10-point game. It is 48-38 right now, and there it is, down to single digits again. And it's going to stay with the Bulldogs. Coach Hoovendick just didn't like it. You could see her bury her face, disgust in her hands. Yeah, a lot of body there. And that will be number 10, and it's double bonus from here on in for the Bulldogs. Free throw up and in for Olsen. And they've hit 50. It's 50-39 in favor of the JWP Bulldogs.
Corner.
Boy. What did I miss there, David? What was the...
I think it was a set play that Olsen knew was coming.
Yeah.
And we weren't reacting the way he wanted.
Weren't reacting fast enough, maybe,
Yeah.
too.
Swing it.
There it is.
Nice shot. Oh.
Well, what's I was
They're just waiting.
just kind of waiting for the call, and there was no whistle. All right. 2:45 to go, second half action. Bulldogs 50. The Knights of Alden Conger 41. Over to Butte in the corner. Oh, toeing the line there, getting close. Out to Toish, thought about it. Down low to Erickson. It's off.
Got a board. Yep.
Yeah, kind of a lackadaisical effort there, David, by the Knights on getting that offensive rebound. And it's in. And it's off.
They needed that.
And it's going to stay with the Knights. Chickisk, not in. And we're at 2 minutes to go here. Yes, I will do that. We were just talking about him, yeah. All right, sounds good. We will do that. I will read it off right at the end. Yep. Make sure he doesn't leave before I read it. Okay. I'll make sure it happens. Thank you. All right, I just got word that we were just talking about him, Dan Ring of the Waseca County News. This is his final game covering JWP athletics. So,
really?
So this is the end. He's been covering us for I think 3 or 4 years now. I've met him a couple times. Good guy. And it's off. Rebound, Zimke. And it is 54-41. And gets the body foul with 1:21 to go. And it just seemed this half, David, that the Knights were missing that little spark or that something extra to put them over the top.
You know, they had some small little runs, but nothing where Janesville felt too threatened to get the lead taken away. But, I mean, barring some miracle here, Janesville should walk out of here
and
feeling good.
Yeah, nice. It'd be a nice Valley Conference win for them. Team in the section you might see a little later on.
It'd be our first section win.
Yes.
And our second conference.
Second
win.
conference. Martin County West sitting on top of the conference right now at 4-0, followed by St. Clair. I think Nicollet Loyola at third.
Travel.
49.9 to go, 54-41 our score. And Coach Olson saying, hold it. Why force something?
Yep.
And 27 seconds to go. And I'm getting ready to read, our athletic director, Mr. Ryan Lidke, has him going to have me read a message to Dan right after the conclusion of this basketball game here, and just hoping he doesn't leave before I read it. Free throw is up and in, 55-41 our score. Clangs off the back iron. 20 seconds to go here. Chickisk, the floater shot, it's off. Board by Toish, and there is a foul. .4 to go. Walls and King going to re-enter to try to maybe get that last rebound and close up shop. Toish's free throw is up and in. And the second one falls in as well. Certainly a much greater scoring output by both teams in this half. Faster paced. And I think they'll dribble it out here. And our final score tonight, the Bulldogs 55, the Alden Congar Knights 43. For David Holm, this has been Jace Emery with another NFHS broadcast. We'll see you here on the 11th as the Waterville Legion Morristown Buccaneers come to town.